Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show. Jack Chow on the ICT TV. Oh, by the way, we are affiliated with the CBS. We're a proud member of CBS Group now.
Nice.
And today with me is my dear friend from West Covina, that's mayor of West Covina, a friend, not only a leader, a friend to me too, and to the community that we rely upon a lot. That is our Mayor Lloyd Johnson. Sir, you're welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jack, and thank you for inviting me here.
Very good. Mr. Lloyd Johnson, Mayor Lloyd Johnson is here to do with me the update of West Covina.
Yes.
Because last time he was here, since then, there are lots of things happening in beautiful city of West Covina. Most of them are very positive. That we like that. We like to see those because West Covina is our city. Because we're here in West Covina. We established here somewhere around 30 years ago, and we never left West Covina, and we're still in West Covina. It's our city. Thank you for providing such a beautiful city.
You're very welcome.
Good.
We're honored that you're here with us.
All right, good. Basically, what you want to bring us since last time you were here on my interview?
Well, we had an election,
Uh-huh.
just like all the other cities did. And right now we have 4 council members instead of 5 because one of our council members didn't decide to run. So we actually have a vacant seat. So we're in the process of taking applications for those that are interested in becoming a West Covina City Councilman.
I see.
And they have till, I think it's the end of next week, they get in their application. After that, then we have to start deciding who we want to appoint. We will be appointing a council member for a 2-year term. There's one of our council members, Mayor Pro Tem Tony Wu, which his term wasn't up until 2020. He decided to run now for the district that he's in, so that left the at-large seat vacant. So now we have to fill that vacant seat for 2 years.
I see. It was yesterday I received a letter from the city council saying that you are doing your reorganization.
Yes.
What do you mean by reorganization?
Reorganization is that now that the new council's on, what we have to do, we have to figure out, each of us do different committees. We do different things on that. So on the reorganization is that we set the goals that we want to set. We set the council members, like I do certain things, Mayor Pro Tem Tony Wu does certain things. And there's a lot of, like the sanitation department, there's a lot of different departments that council members are supposed to attend. So it's for the city. So when you reorganize, you have to put them out and say, ask our council members, which one of these do you want to do? And like I say, the reorganization is like, it's also with the old council that's out, the 3 council members that are gone, so you reorganize with your new council members. So,
I know former councilman Warshaw, and what district he was in?
He would have been in District 5.
District 5. And now the job needs to be done in District 5. Is allocated amongst your 4?
No, the District 5 belongs to Tony Wu now.
Oh, I see.
See, Tony Wu lived in the same district that former council member Corey Warshaw was in.
I see.
So when the city was split up into districts, if Corey Warshaw would have ran, he would have had to run against Tony Wu.
I see. I see.
So he decided to retire. And then Tony Wu ran in District 5 and won.
Now you have a 4-member council member and you have 5 districts.
But
so how do you want to allocate
that's
the
what I said,
job?
we will appoint someone. See, that's when we will have 5 council members by February. We will have to, the 4 of us have to get together and figure out who is the best person qualified for the job. So with the applications that were put in, we will go through them. We will have meetings with them, individual meetings with them, and we would try to fill them out, figure out what they're about and what they want to do.
I see.
And then we all decide in an open meeting now. The only time we can pick somebody has to be in an open council meeting.
For the length of the vacancy, though,
It'll be for 2 years.
It starts at 2 years?
It'll only be for 2 years.
2 years. So you're talking about 2 years of vacancy until you...
No, we're not going to have a vacancy. We have to fill, Jack, we have to fill that seat by February.
I see. I see.
If not, we have to have a special election. We don't want to we don't want to pay $100 and some thousand for a special election.
I see.
So as a council, we will appoint somebody by February the 5th. The state law says you have to have, if you have a vacancy, you have to fill it within 60 days from the time that the election was certified.
I see.
And they were certified in November.
What if during the period of the vacancy, whereby you have only 4 members, some vote happens? How do you go with a vote, with the voting, if it comes to an answer with only 4 people?
Well, you can do that because you always remember, anything is decided by 3 votes, the majority. The majority always rules.
I see.
So no matter if you have 4 council members or not, if you can get 3 of them to decide to agree on it, things pass.
What if it ends up with 2 and 2?
Then it basically kills it.
Basically kill it.
It kills it. If you have a 2-2 draw, it kind of kills whatever you're talking about.
I see. In other words, when you have a 2-2, you cannot impose it.
You cannot impose it.
You kill it.
It kills it. It's
Uh-huh.
dead on. It's right there. We don't take
That's
it any
also a
further.
way to go.
We don't take it any further. Nothing.
So, do we know why, to what reason, did Mr. Washaw decided not to run?
He says he wants to do some traveling with him and his wife. His wife's retired now. See, she was working up to this year. I think with this year she retired.
I see.
So she was working all those years. So they couldn't. He wants to do a lot of traveling.
Now does you, Tony Wood, and James Toma, and
James Toma is no longer on the council.
James Toma is no longer
And
on.
neither is Mike Spence.
Oh, Mike Spence.
So the 3 council members that lost
Uh-huh.
was Mike Spence, Corey Warshaw, and James Toma. They're all 3 gone now.
Uh-huh.
So our council, myself as mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Tony Wu, Councilwoman Letty Lopez,
Nelly Lopez, yes.
and then Councilman Dario Castellanos.
I see.
Those are all 4 council members right now.
I see. All right, okay. So, the way you see, though, the one absence, does that hurt the city?
But no, sometimes you really need 5. The reason why you need 5 is because some of the decisions that we have to make, if you have the really important decisions, but if you have 1 or 2 people that says, I don't think they're as important, and you need the other 3, if they do, they say yes. You can have a lot of 2-2 things that could kill everything.
I see.
You need 5. You have to have that odd number. Just like if you only had 3 council members.
Yeah.
That would work. But you can't have 4 because you can end up with a tie. You either have to 5, 7, 9. You have to have an odd number. That's why United States Supreme Court, they have 9
You have
judges.
9 judges.
So you have to have, all of them do. Your 8th Circuit, they have 7, and all the others, they have 5. Because you have to have an odd number.
In some cities, that say Pasadena, they have 7 council members.
Yeah,
right?
Pasadena is a little bit bigger than West Covina. And the way they've split it up, they have, Pomona has 7 council members.
Pomona.
They have
Okay,
7.
okay, all right. So far, has anybody submitted that they are running?
Well, from what I understand, there's 4 or 5 names that's already put in. I don't know who they are, but the reason why I don't want to decide until after the 17th, then the 17th, what will happen, they will send each of the council members their names of those that are running. And then we can get in touch with them and find out. We can do an interview with them, sit down and have a talk with them.
What kind of qualification they have to meet to be a candidate?
First of all, they have to live in the city of West Covina. They have to be a resident of West Covina.
All right.
They have to be a registered voter. Besides that, it's up in the air. You don't have to have a certain college degree. You don't have to have this. You don't have to have that. The main thing is you have to be a registered voter and you live in the city of West Covina.
I see.
Now, in 2000,
I'll think about my boss.
Yeah.
My boss, James Sue, probably want to run.
Well, I don't think your boss James wants to do anything in West Covina.
He wouldn't want to.
No, he's doing a fantastic job running EDI.
Very good,
That's
good.
a full job by itself.
Very good, very good. West Covina is a beautiful city that our headquarters is located here. And we love the city, and everything West Covina does is really to our attention, right?
Yes.
Good or bad. So the budget-wise, I mean, budget. How is the budget doing?
And the budget, we're just getting started with it. We've made it very clear to our city manager that the budget has to be done by the 1st of June. You know, last year we didn't get done until July. The last part of July, that's how long it took us to get it done. And I've made it very clear to him this year that I don't want to go through that again. We want the residents to have a little confidence, saying, yes, we've settled the budget, so we have until June of next year to get our budget. Right now, we're right on schedule.
All right,
So
very
things are
good,
looking pretty
very
good right now.
I'm very glad to hear that, and I believe things are quite improving and improving very fast with the city. Due to the leadership of Mr. Mayor, Mr. Council Member, and the Madam Council Member all together, and I believe the city is getting better and better and better. There are lots of checking points we would like to touch. Let's take a very short moment out. We come back and continue right away, please. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. It is a discussion about with the beautiful city of West Covina, where our headquarters is located. And the West Covina is a lovely city. Look at the land, the flat land. Look at the convenience as, with all the freeways go around. And I believe it has a bright future. And also, most importantly, in addition, is that they have very nice council members, and city councils are working together. They are united. The more they are united, the better the outcome it shall lead to. Right? Today with me is my dear friend, Mayor Lloyd Johnson. Mr. Lloyd Johnson was a proud member of U.S. service. He went to Vietnam and he got wounded, and he served the country in the best way he could. That's why he wears his purple heart. He deserves it, and we believe everybody owes him appreciation for serving the country. To me, well, I know that's always the case. I give anybody or everybody who served the country in that way, best way they can, a salute, a very serious salute.
Thank you, sir.
The same thing here. And I believe the city of West Covina is lucky to have somebody like Mr. Lloyd Johnson on the council board, and now this year is his term for mayor, right?
Yes.
How long is your mayorship?
It's usually 1 year.
1 year, right?
Yeah, it's
and it started this year or
Well,
started
no,
last
well,
year?
mine started in 2018 because we had a situation with our former mayor, Mike Spence. We had a problem with him. So actually the council voted to take the mayormanship away from him.
I see.
Because he had some medical problems. And so
There was a controversy.
He wasn't serving the city in the best way that it should, as a city should be served. When you have somebody that's the mayor of the city, you want them to be without any question about them. They hold us a little bit higher. You're the one, the face of the city right now.
Of course.
So we had a situation. So back in the end of May, we removed him as the mayor. He was still a council member because only the residents can vote you in and vote you out as a council member.
I see.
He ran against Letty Lopez, so he lost to Letty Lopez. But I've been a mayor since May, or the first part of June of this year. Then I will be mayor all of 2019.
I see.
So I'll actually be the mayor for 18 months.
I see. Very good. Okay. I'd rather see that you sit on the mayor on the mayor position for a little longer, and it is not that personally I wish that, and I believe the city of West Covina people would like to see that, right? So there are some issues talking about, and there's the first one talking about the marijuana.
Yes.
I would like to hear some comment from you about the marijuana issue, please.
Well, it's brought up right now. It's in our planning commission because the city council told the planning commission to go back and set some direction, some parameters, and what we want to do it. Am I for it? Yes, I don't have a problem with it if it's in the right place. Right now, we only have one place that they can actually grow it in the city of West Covina, and it has to be in an industrial area. It can't be around churches, schools, or stuff like that. But you know what? I've always been a firm believer. We waste millions of dollars a year prosecuting those with marijuana. That money can be used somewhere else on other major crimes, other major illegal substance. Marijuana, I don't see that big of a deal. That's why I don't have a problem with legalizing it. I don't have a problem with growing it in the city of West. Right now, they've already legalized it. You can actually grow 5 plants in your house legally. You can't grow them outside, but you can actually grow them in your house legally.
Okay.
And you can't get busted for it. The new federal law says that.
I see.
You can do that. So why, if you can grow it in your house, why can't we have a medical marijuana place? I mean, for medical marijuana growing in West Covina.
So basically, you're talking about a piece of land.
Yes.
Whatsoever. How big is that?
It all depends, Jack. I mean, it's, for example, I'm just going to throw an example out there. In the city of West Covina, we have a big building. It used to be the Tribune. That's where they used to. Right now, a gentleman bought it, the whole property he bought. He uses just a portion of the building, the front part of it. The rest of it's vacant. That right there would be a perfect place to grow marijuana in.
But roughly, how big is the land that needed?
Well, they don't have a set parameter. But it can't be in a residential area. It has to be in an industrial area.
I see.
And the place where EDI is, all the way down, going heading east on there, is the only industrial property West Covina has. Down past, where the Tribune is, on down that way. Those are the only places in West Covina.
Which is the area? Describe it again.
From where EDI is, it's your property right here, heading east.
Heading east.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going down, past Lower Azusa Road, and on down that way. You can, this is the only industrial property that West Covina has left in West Covina. And that's the only place we said it can be grown.
So within that area?
And within that area. But now we already know it will not be grown in where we're at right now, in this area right here. The owners of the property already said they would never allow it, which I don't want it here because it's too close to the schools. You have a church here. And it's too close to them. So I wouldn't allow it in this area anyway.
Okay. So who will be the owner of the plants if you
the owner of the plants, it's be an individual wants to buy it. It can be a conglomerate of people to get together, investors, say, hey, we want to buy this building or we want to lease this building and we want to set it up for manufacturing, but it has to be for medical uses only. That's the only way we're not going to allow for recreational.
It's going to be in the form of an open farm?
No, it will be inside of a building.
Oh, inside of a building.
It cannot be outside. The reason why I didn't want it outside, you can have too many burglaries. You have people jumping fences. You can have people like that.
Yeah, you're talking about, I was just wondering about security.
Yeah, but plus we want them to have their own security. They want to watch
How
them.
big would be the building that needed?
If they did that, for the Tribune is, you're talking about quite a few thousand square feet of property right there inside the building.
Oh, 5,000 or 3,000 feet. That's
you look at the Tribune. It's probably a few 100,000 square feet inside that building. So it can be really.
That's not a big deal, isn't it?
No, it's not. But it could be nice if it's set up right.
All right. Okay. So private owners invest in the plantation, and from the city point of view, city just takes the tax revenue, right?
Now, what I would like to do is not just the tax revenue, because I understand it, the way they sell marijuana. I want to charge so much per square foot. I don't care how big a business they do. I don't care how much they sell. I just want a charge of so much per square foot of building that they're using to grow marijuana.
All right. And You don't tax them anymore?
No, we haven't started it up yet. We're still going through the planning part on it, so we haven't even, initialized any of it yet.
Okay.
But if you have 100,000 square foot building, and you're growing marijuana in it, we want to charge so much per square foot.
All right.
So we could end up, our profit, it's say like $50,000 a month. It goes to the city. We don't care how much. I don't care if you sell $2 million a month of marijuana. I'm not concerned about that.
That's 600,000
a year.
A year.
Yeah, or $500,000 a year within that area. It only depends how big the building is. But I want to charge so much per building. If it's $50,000 a month, that's $600,000 a year. Something like that they'll be paying us. I don't care if they do $5 or $6 million a year.
So how about distribution? The planter, the owners will do it, or what?
Well, what happened, you can set up that you only have one person or one company that can distribute it. I don't want a bunch of marijuana trucks going around running through the city.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worrying about trafficking.
We're not going to let that happen. We're going to have where you have one single probably distribution, or maybe two, a couple distributors that can actually distribute it. And they can take it out of the city.
Sell it to the pharmaceutical people.
That, or drive it, someone else that needs it, they can pick it up from the warehouse, and they can drive it to the businesses that selling it. They won't be able to sell it right out of the manufacturer.
Okay. So how long has this been in discussion about?
We've discussed it now for about a couple of years.
Couple of years.
The first time it was brought up, we rejected it. And then we brought it back. It was brought back again, and we thought about it. Then it passed on a 3-2 margin. It passed to move forward, to send it back to the planning department.
So within the council members, though, how many are supporting? How many are going against it?
Now we'll have 3 new council members. I don't know. I know I am. I think there's one more. I don't want to mention any names, but like I said, you need 3. Now, once the new council gets set up, they may kill it again. They may say, no, we don't want it.
But you support it?
I support it.
Okay, very good. My dear friend, that's a subject going on in several cities. West Covina is only one of them. So far as I know, we have El Monte talking about it, and Baldwin probably is...
they passed it.
They passed it, right? And with the legalization of marijuana, people thinking of making money, of course, is right or never wrong. Think about how to make money, and so does the city. But do it right or do it wrong? Now, should we do it or should we not do it? It's still a question, some issue to be discussed. With me today is my dear friend, Mr. Mayor of West Covina, Lloyd Johnson, a wonderful leader, a veteran, proud veteran, came home with the Purple Heart, right? So we take a break. We'll be right back. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, my dear fellow citizens of West Covina or even Southern California. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on East West with ICT TV. We're talking about the city of West Covina update, in which we pick up the issue of marijuana, because that's something being controversial for at least 2 or 3 years. Well, big thing, big issue. To lots of people, they believe that it will bring the city benefit, or bring people, whoever plants it, benefit. In other words, it's kind of like a business. And to people who oppose it, and of course, they must have their reason. With me today is my good friend, Mr. Lloyd Johnson, Mayor of West Covina. Welcome back to the show, sir, again.
Thank you, sir. It's my honor.
Okay. We talked about the benefit it will bring the city. It's kind of like a quarter, 3/4 to $8 million on an annual basis if you put up something like 100,000 square feet, right? Okay, to do it. And it's not a heavy pollution industry. No, nothing, right? As a matter of fact, the plant produces the carbon takes in carbon dioxide
Yes,
and
it
produces
does, yeah.
oxygen, right? Anyway, okay, now we need to see the other side of the coin,
Yes.
right? To the other side of the coin, though, why people oppose it?
Well, a lot of people oppose it because for up to now it's always been illegal. They call it it's a drug. But so they have to understand that it's not anymore, doesn't do any more damage than alcohol does. That's all it is. They say we're legalizing drugs. Well, I've never put marijuana in the same category as some of your harder drugs. Mm-hmm. So I try to get them to understand. They say we're going to have more crime with it. That's a possibility with anything, though, you know. And I tell them, if we put it in the right place, and you make it mandatory for them to have their own security, it takes the crime away from it. But it's one of those things, Jack, that no matter how you show the people on it, they're always going to have the negative part about marijuana. It's just, it's up there. You hear about all the busts, everything that's been done with marijuana. They busted and they've taken so many tons of it, the marijuana away. And all they do, they just destroy it. But you know what? It's time, and I try to get them to understand on the negative part of it, it's time to get away from stereotyping it that way. That we have our police officers out there wasting time, as far as I'm concerned, on it, on going to bust somebody for marijuana when they be doing something about real crime.
Okay.
So I try to get them past that part. Do we want our police officers out there going to this house and busting them for having some marijuana plants on? Or do you want them out there busting someone that's selling really hard drugs or robbing people or doing stuff like that?
I see.
We're always going to have the negative.
So mostly the people who worry, their concern is that after all, marijuana is a drug, right?
Yes, it is.
And a drug shall give people influence,
But let's always remember,
shall hallucinate people.
alcohol does the same thing. Alcohol basically is a drug. What's it do
Alcohol
when you
does the same
when you do
thing.
the same thing with alcohol, right? You do things or you say things. I mean, it takes over you. But sometimes alcohol would take over your sensory ability that I wouldn't do this. You know, you see a lot of people that they do things and they're because of alcohol.
They worry. Let's see what they worry, right? They worry as being a drug, it influences people, right?
Yes.
All right. And then their worry is that under the influence, people might do wrong things, including committing crimes,
Yes,
right?
they can take
and
that.
that's why they worry that we'll bring this plant, if it goes with a yes, it will bring more chances of committing crimes. So next thing they worry about the community safety.
See, but I disagree with that. I really do.
Yeah.
Because marijuana won't do any more different than alcohol.
Except talking about your disagreement, though, what else do they worry? Do people who oppose it worry about?
Well, I don't know. I really believe that's the main thing they're worried about. They're worrying about the crime that can be done, not from the person that's mainly smoking the marijuana, whatever it is, or using the marijuana for the medical reasons or whatever they use it for. They worry about the crime that it may do for the people that are growing it. They might have people that are going there and rob them and having crime there. You know, I hear a lot of that. But like I say, if there's a lot of security, which as a council, we would make it mandatory that they have their own security for it. So we wouldn't have any worries there. But Jack, it's a controversial. You know, let's go back to before they legalized alcohol, back in the Depression time, you know.
Oh, yes.
And how it was. It was a crime.
Yeah.
And people always say, you can't be selling alcohol because it makes people do this, they do that, and everything else. But we've gone past that.
Many years ago, I did an interview with the San Antonio wineries, right? And the story they told me was that it was not until 1952 did the ban on alcohol was lifted, right? And back then, everything alcoholic supposed to be a crime.
They still have in a few of the states back east, parts of the states are alcohol free. They don't let them sell alcohol, but you can drink it, but you can't sell it.
Yeah, Utah.
Arkansas.
Utah, Arkansas too?
Arkansas. My son lives in Arkansas, but where he lives,
Ah,
the part that he lives in, you can't buy alcohol in.
I see.
But you can go right across the state line right there
Uh-huh.
and buy it and bring it back in legally.
Yeah. Last time I was in Salt Lake City, the hotel starts 6 p.m. selling alcohol consuming license. Before you get that license, you can be caught. You can get arrested
Yes.
for drinking.
Yeah.
So with that, you can drink till 11 o'clock something. And if you drink, even if you have a license, if you drink after 11, you'll still get arrested.
Because they say you can sell alcohol up to a certain amount of hours, but you're not allowed to sell it after that on certain places.
Yeah, you have to buy a license, that pass,
Yes, yeah.
to the bar and show to the bartender, and then they serve you. Something like that, right?
But in alcohol, like I say, where my son lives, like I said, you can't even buy alcohol in the county that you live in. You can go maybe to a different county that they may have passed it. So different counties, they do what they want to do. And you can bring it back home and have a party with it. And that's legal. The part is you just can't buy it in that county. That's the same thing with marijuana. You know, right now, for example, like I said, City of Baldwin Park passed it. They haven't got it set up yet, but they passed it where they can manufacture marijuana in there.
So, to give the example of Utah to alcohol, though, it is only a matter of how you take it, right?
Like
If you
everything
take
else.
it as a drug, of course, it's a drug. If you take it as merchandise, it's a merchandise, right? So, alcohol, for example, is now taken as a merchandise.
That's all it is. Because
As
there's
how you consume it is the other thing.
There's no medical use for alcohol, okay? There's no alcohol is alcohol. You go out and buy it. That's what it's for. It's for.
Yeah, you only get high.
Like, marijuana, it's also used for a lot of medical reasons. I'm telling you, people with cancer, people, stuff like that, different type of diseases. Marijuana makes their stomach settle down. It makes them be, on it.
More relaxed.
If they're going through cancer and stuff, with the marijuana, it makes them want. Usually, I went through cancer. Okay?
People with declining disease need that
They do.
to kill the pain.
Yeah, they kill the pain, yes. And I don't, see, that's just it. So when we do it in West Covina, if we pass it, the manufacturer be for medical reasons only. We're not having any manufacturing for recreational use of marijuana.
All right.
It'd be for medical use only. So the people that raise it or grow it, it has to be for medical use only.
I see. All right. With that many restrictions, first you are vigilant, right?
Yes.
You're cautious to make sure by selecting a land or building, you try to get away from school, from churches, from residential areas,
And daycare centers and all this type of stuff.
daycare centers,
You have a lot of children
stuff
around.
like that,
yes.
right?
Yes.
All right. And number two, you want that building, that very building. All right. Number two, you're not doing the plantation in the open farm.
No.
You do it in a controlled building.
Yes.
With the access. Well, I mean with security.
Yes.
Right. So and then when you sell it, you are not selling in the market. You sell it to
A distributor.
distributor
Will come in, they will pick it up and they will take it and distribute it.
who's supposed to go to pharmaceutical plant.
And if they have to have a license in the city of West Covina just to distribute it.
Okay, good. It sounds like a very well laid plan. So, what is the status quo of the both sides in your city now?
Right now, before we had our election, it was a 3-2 on the council to approve it. That's why it's back in the planning
3-2 to approve it?
Yes.
The majority being the 3
Yes.
to prove it.
Yes.
All right. So didn't approve or did approve?
Well, right now we approved for it to go back to the planning commission for them to set the parameters. Set what has to be
Prove
done.
it to go back to the planning commission. In other words, subject to planning.
But it was we send it back to them, and the planning goes through just like everything, like the stuff they do, and they say you're allowed to do this, and this. on the conditions that we like.
In other words, that the issue was proved.
Yeah. So Planning Commission does it, and once they set the parameters, they send it back to the City Council to approve the overall plan. And then it's up to the remember, Jack, nothing can get done through the city unless it's approved by the City Council.
I know. So let's separate the steps, right?
Right.
Step number 1, the issue was approved.
It was approved by the City Council to go back to the Planning Commission.
Yeah, I know, but
Right.
but the issue was approved.
Yes.
To go back to the planning.
Yes.
Right. When you say go back, what does the back mean? Back means
Because-
that there was in planning already.
It was in planning already. They sent it to us, and we didn't like it.
I see.
We didn't like it. So we said, no, we don't want this. We don't want to kill it altogether. We do want it, but you guys have to set some different parameters.
All right.
We okayed for the marijuana to move forward.
All
So
right.
once we okayed for the marijuana manufacture of it to move forward, now planning has to set the parameters of it. How long can you be open?
So
Where's it have to be?
going back from the planning
Yes.
to the city, if the plan is beautiful,
Yes.
is very well laid, the city will just follow the previous decision to go ahead, right?
No, with the new council now.
I see.
We have to. That's what we have to be concerned about now.
You
with
have
the new
now-
council. They can say no. Just because we okayed it, no one's actually opened up a manufacturer yet. If somebody would open the manufacturer,
When did you prove it to go back to the planning division?
I do believe it was sometime in I think it was around September.
September this year.
Yes.
September this year,
Yes.
right? And then, since then, who are the new council members?
Well, now you have council member Dario Castellanos and Letty Lopez. These are
I
our two
see.
council members right now.
I see.
Mayor Pro Tem Wu's still there, and I'm still there. So that's the four.
Mayor Pro Tem Tony Wu, did he go against it or
He
oppose
went
it?
against it.
He was against it.
He was against it.
I see. Now, when the planning plans back, it has to go through another vote.
Yes,
Am I
it
right?
does.
Okay, my dear friend. Today we're touching base with City of West Covina with my friend Mayor Lloyd Johnson. We're right now at the discussion of the marijuana planning. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West Show with GNE TV, with ICT TV. And with me today is my good friend, Mr. Lloyd Johnson of West Covina. He is the mayor of West Covina, the lovely mayor of West Covina. He is my idol who served the country, and when he was young, came home wounded with a Purple Heart and never stopped serving. And starting 3 years ago, he ran and succeeded, and he became a council member. Now he's a mayorship now by rotation. However, and this is a man of thought, this is a man of service, a man of heart, right? So we're talking about the fact that the city of West Covina is kind of working on a plan to deal with marijuana. Hopefully that brings city revenue of $750,000 to $8 million on an annual basis, which is not bad,
No,
right?
not bad.
And which is not bad. Within a few years, well, you will probably be rich enough to put your own hotel. All right, good. Now, back to the point though, among the council members who are there now,
Yes.
right? You support it,
Yes.
right? Tony Wu goes against it,
Yes.
and who else is supporting it?
Well, I'm not sure. Actually, I can't speak for the other two council members. Because we haven't even discussed it. But I know Dario, when he was on the planning commission, seemed to be like he probably would have voted for it. But like I said, I can't, Jack, I can't say how the other two council members will vote on, because we haven't actually discussed it among us yet in a meeting. We can't discuss it privately between us. That's illegal. That's breaking the law.
Yeah.
Everything we do has to be in an open meeting, and we call that the Brown Act. We've discussed
Brown
that
Act,
before.
yes.
We've discussed that before.
The Brown Act, yeah.
So there's nothing we can do. I have to wait for it to come back for us before I can discuss it with them.
What will be the time estimation of the planning division to come back to give you the whole plan?
Well, I was hoping it would have been done this year, while we still had our other council members on there. I really was, because if we could have passed it then and got it going, then it would have stayed there. But we didn't. So now it's up to the new council members. So I'm hoping that we can get a decision. Probably I'm hoping maybe it'd be better if we want to wait until we have another council member. I don't even want to even talk about this issue until we have 5 council members. So we're talking about at least the later part of January or the first part of February.
In other words, it will be better the plan comes back when you have a full seat,
Oh yes, of course.
right? Well, a full seat. And you can't come back when there's a 4, only
No,
4.
On an issue like that,
Yeah.
you could kill it
You
really
mentioned
easy.
you only kill it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So, and you mentioned that you will have 5 until next February, am I right?
No, we will have 4 until February. End of January next year or the first part of February, we have to have that. We have to appoint a new council member by then. By February the 5th of 2019, we have to, by state law, we have to have a council member already appointed.
Yeah. In other words, by February of 2019,
Yes.
if the plan comes back, you can start voting.
Yeah, after we can start talking about it after we have our other council member.
All right. And then after, once again, after February 2019, you can actually talk about it, you can actually vote on it.
Yeah, remember, it has to come from the planning commission first. They're setting the rules and the laws that they have to abide by. The rules and the laws is West Covina. The planning commission sets those boundaries, and then they send them back to the city council. And then all we have to do is agree on those, because we've already agreed on the manufacturing part of it. So if we get the other council members to agree with that and the boundaries, then we can move forward with it.
All right. In other words, once you started voting again, when you have 5 members, you're voting only to the plan, not the yes or no to do it or not to do it.
Well, the new council members, they can, since we didn't pass it 100%, we didn't get the whole program settled. The new council can say, I don't like it. Anything that's been done right now, Jack, the new council members can undo it.
In other words, they can still overturn it.
They sure can.
Oh, okay, very good.
If you get 2 council members to agree with Mayor Pro Tem Wu and change their mind, they can kill everything right then and there.
I see.
That's their right.
Are people of West Covina aware of what's going on?
Those that pay attention, Jack, remember, if you walk through, I'll tell you this real fast. If you go through West Covina and you ask 95% of the residents of West Covina who the council members are, they don't have a clue. If you're happy in your own little village, basically in your own little square block, or where it is, and you don't have any problems, you don't deal with the city of West Covina, you don't know what's going on, and they don't. They don't have a clue about the marijuana.
I see,
You went to the average person, asked what do you think about the marijuana plan in West Covina? First thing they're going to ask you, what plan?
Have you done, or has any part of the opposing part, of the proactive part, doing any campaign about the issue?
No.
Nobody does anything.
No, the reason why is 2 things. Like I said, the only place it can be grown, and that's why I'm protecting it, the only place it can be grown is basically in my backyard. That's where I live. I live over here where you guys have your business here.
Yeah.
It's my part of town too. And I'm okay with that. And I don't have a problem with it. Somebody on the opposite side of the city over by Valley, Nogales, this isn't going to affect them at all. So I don't think they would even care, because it's not in my backyard. It's one of those things. It's not my backyard. I don't care. So I really don't think.
After all, you're focusing on the industrial area.
Yeah, that's all. And this is the only industrial
which
area.
Which is to our east.
Yeah, on San Bernardino Road, all the way up to the edge of Baldwin Park.
The edge of Baldwin Park.
And it comes
then
right to the edge of here.
To the South Hill.
No. South Hill, that has nothing to do with it. No. Industrial, or the only industrial we have is right where your business is right now, where EDI is. Go straight down San Bernardino Road, right till you hit Baldwin Park, the property of Baldwin Park. And on Azusa Canyon Road, right there on Los Angeles Street. This is the only industrial area where Covina has left.
Well, the south end, where is the south end?
We don't have any industrial area over there. It's all built out.
But is there going beyond the freeway or north of the freeway?
No, we're staying on everything. We're staying on the north side of the freeway.
I see.
We don't have any
and
industrial
to the
area.
very north, though, what is the area? I mean, the limit.
Now remember, this from here. If I was going to go home from here, I'd be going south. You know, this is where you are going down Orange Avenue. San Bernardino Road runs east and west. So from where EDI is right here.
San Bernardino, the divide. San Bernardino is the north.
Yeah, it is the north.
It's north end.
So you take San Bernardino Road and you go all the way, because remember, the sun comes up in the east over here and it goes down in the west. So we'll be going east.
I see.
So if you go down San Bernardino Road east, you pass Los Angeles Street or Lower Azusa.
100,000 square feet is not it's not a big building.
No, that's the Tribune building.
That's the Tribune building, right?
That's the Tribune building.
Tribune building right there.
That's the only.
And it is still vacant.
All except for the front half. And a gentleman bought the whole building. He may have bought the whole property, but he only uses the front part of it to store spices in. He doesn't manufacture them there. He stores them there. So that makes it hard for him right now to lease the other parts of the building out, because the aroma from the spices are so strong that no one can stay in there. But like with the marijuana, they'd have to put exhaust fans. They'd have to insulate it real good. And you know, to grow marijuana inside of a building costs. It costs a lot of money. You have to have for your watering them. You have to have the lighting for the sunlight that they have to give.
Because you can't be indoors,
it's
right?
Temperature controlled on it. So it's a high risk money for them to make it work for them. But if they set it up right, and with the fans and the exhaust fans and stuff like that, which filters out all the fumes.
When an investor invests, though, they see the potential, right?
Sure they do.
And the potential is such that once it is proven to be okay to do it, though, and they can't lose money. The way I see it.
If they do it the right way, the smart way.
Yeah.
And you have the investors that really want to. All they're going to do is make money.
All right.
And like I said, I wish them well, and I don't care how much money they make, because like I say, the city will only charge for square footage. Because a lot of this, remember...
When you charge a square footage, though, do you still tax the product?
No.
Or sales tax?
Because you don't know what. The thing about with them selling marijuana, you can do a lot of cash sales.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they're selling it for. That's why you don't go say, I want to do that. I want to go on square footage only. This way. They say 1 month they have a big sale. The next month they don't have a big sale. That doesn't bother me. I'm still getting the money for each square foot.
What if the people, after that, instead of selling to distributor, they started selling to the neighborhood?
Then we close them down.
Then we close down. They're going against
because they're going to go against when they signed up for the parameters that we set them up for.
I see. You'll restrict them.
The only way that marijuana can leave that plant, wherever it is through distribution trucks. They're not allowed to sell it out of there to individuals.
I see.
No, there won't be any individual things set up inside there. It's mainly for them to do it and give it to distributors, and they will distribute it to their clients.
All right, okay. It sounds a very much well-laid plan to me. If I were supposed to vote, probably I want to vote.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, my dear friends, we showed the both sides of the coin, and I believe that you might have your own take, such is the situation of the West Covina issue on the marijuana planning. So with me is my dear friend Lloyd Johnson, Mayor of West Covina. And we thank you very much for watching. And to the Mayor, thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you,
Thank
Jack.
you for your leadership.
It's a pleasure being here again.
Sure, take care.